Hey guys, it's Jody here with Honeysuckle Hill Bee-stro, and we have a unique guest with us today. It's Judah Lorman, our daughter, and you probably have seen Judah around here if you've been to the Bee-stro. And she is our current Brazil Township Trustee. She was just caucused in to finish out the role of the former Township Trustee, Brazil Township Trustee, and she is running in the primary in May for the position. So anyway, Judah, thanks for coming home.
Yeah, thank you for having me home.
This is going to be like the weirdest interview that I've done because I birthed you. So I know about everything about you. So
yeah.
Unless there's some secrets you have not told me, and now's the confessional time.
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay, so I just don't even know where to start. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I live in Brazil now. I bought my first house in May of 2021. So I've been living in Brazil for 5 years now.
Oh my gosh, so, I can't believe that.
Yeah, I know. So I bought my house whenever I was 24. So I feel like that's a pretty major accomplishment. And I owe that a lot to you and Dad. So I really appreciate you guys supporting me through everything.
Well, thanks. Are we going to need tissues for this interview? But you have become very active in the community.
Yes. Yeah.
You are a part of Rotary. You're secretary of Rotary. You help a lot with that, and you like that. So tell me a little bit about what you do with Rotary.
So Rotary is a very philanthropic club. So we have a 4-way test with Rotary that we repeat at the end of every club meeting. Is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And that really drew me into going to the club meetings because I really resonate with that 4-way test.
Yeah,
it's something that I really value for our community. I want to be involved with it because we help with students. We give dictionaries to the elementary schools. We give scholarships to the top 10 students at both Northview and Clay City. We do the 4th of July celebrations.
And that's your big fundraiser.
That's our big fundraiser. But we also give to smaller organizations, so they have a way to apply to the Rotary Club, and we discuss it as a board, and we decide whether or not it is something that we can give to them. And more often than not, we do give out to other smaller organizations whenever they need something.
Okay. Now, because, I know a little bit about you. You have talked for a long time about wanting to run for a Brazil Township Trustee whenever TJ Stetton decided that he was ready to step down. What was it about the position of a Township Trustee that kind of called you?
Yeah. So I've been on the advisory board for not that long, but long enough for me to kind of get a feel of the job. At the same time that I was on the advisory board, I was also getting a certificate in public health through Cornell University. And during that time, I realized there's actually a lot that a township trustee can do for public health. For instance, township trustee, they actually can go above and beyond with helping with medical payments. So if you need insulin, we can distribute that. If you need any kind of medical, you have medical bills that you can't pay, the township can usually help with that. So just base level, that's one way that a township can help with public health, but we also can influence the public, as we can also, if there's a park in the township that we take care of, we can help make that nice walking trails to encourage healthier living by going out to walk. You can also have public gardens, community gardens, to help create a better, more diverse things to eat, so you're getting your vitamins and nutrients. And so there's just a lot of ways that I realized, the township actually can do a lot for public health. And now that I'm also in the role, I also see, whenever I was doing the course through Cornell, part of it was we had to look at the demographics of our area. And I was looking at Brazil, and about 6% of Brazil can't afford any kind of health care. So whenever they can't even afford that, what else can they not afford? So a lot of what we do as a township is assistance with utilities and paying rent. So whenever you can help with that, then that gives them the ability to not have to stress, which that's a big part of heart disease.
Health.
So whenever you can help with that, that's a little thing that you can do to influence someone's health.
So, okay, whenever you say distribute insulin, you don't have insulin in your office.
We don't have it in our office. They would have to apply to the township, and I can get that ordered for them.
Okay. So everything's an application process.
Yes. It seems very strenuous whenever you're looking, because as people have been coming in or calling, I give them a whole laundry list of documents that I need to see, but that is very needed, because there are unfortunately some people who want to take advantage of that, and why should the taxpayers have to pay for someone who could have probably didn't really need the assistance in the first place. So I'm trying to learn everything that I need, and I've been getting that figured out. I'm very proud of that.
Because you started, your first actual day in the office was February 1st.
Yes.
And then you had a transition period for sure. You're still in a transition period, but you had one because you were like, it was kind of like last minute in a way. So you had to still give your previous job 2 weeks and all that good stuff. So anyway. All right. So you were telling me something that was kind of interesting, because I'll be honest with you, I know more about the history of township trustees than what their current roles are, because they used to be in charge of, like all poor relief. There was no Medicaid, there was no food stamps, so that was all back in the day. Your township trustee that did that. And they were also in charge of the schools back in the day before school corporations. So they, So that's, they actually hired the teachers and, would do, tests for teachers back in the day before there was even where you had to go to college, to be a teacher and all that good stuff. Remember the Little House on the Prairie books, Laura getting her teacher certificate. I mean, that was all under the purview of the township trustee. But one of the things that you were telling me is the cemeteries. So can you talk a little bit about that and a project that you'd like to work on?
Another form of assistance, just as a little bit of an aside, but another form of assistance is that we can help with burial costs. So that's another assistance we can provide. But there's 2 cemeteries that my township is in charge of, and if a township takes over the care of a cemetery, they take it over for life. So the entire life of that cemetery and the township, they're taking care of that cemetery.
Okay, so what 2 cemeteries does the Brazil Township Trustee have purview over?
So I take care of Stunkard Cemetery and Otter Creek Cemetery, and Otter Creek has hit a chord for me, where I've heard that it was the poor cemetery, the black cemetery, that they were so poor that they couldn't even afford stone monuments for burials. So they had white crosses, and neighborhood kids would come and take the crosses out and play swords with them. And so there's no markers for any of the bodies. They've lost a lot of the names of the people who were buried there. There's apparently a creek that runs by it, and it's washed away some of the graves. So I've gotten in touch with the Genealogy Society. So Tanya Tucker, she's the president of the Genealogy Society. She and I will be looking up some of the names of the people who were buried there, and trying to find some of the families that were buried there. And I've also now talked to a state archaeologist. And he is going to be looking up, because another thing that I heard was that the sign for the cemetery isn't even on the correct location. It's actually a few acres away from the actual location of the cemetery. So he's looking up where the actual cemetery is for me.
Okay.
So once we get that figured out, and he's also looking up the codes and laws for what is required, like if we're fixing up the cemetery, if there are damaged graves, then what rules do I need to adhere to? So we're going to look into bare minimum. What we would like to do is at least get a new sign and put it at the correct location, have some of the names of the people who were buried there on the sign.
Okay.
And also, I would like to try to shore up so that the creek that runs through that area can't damage any more of the graves. That's the bare minimum that I would like to do for that cemetery.
Okay. I know that sounds like, oh, well, you've got living people that need assistance, so why would you help the dead people who don't need assistance? So do you want to address why that's important?
I think that's important just because there are families that still probably that live in the area that still have families that were buried there. And I think it's important to recognize where you came from. And whenever you don't even have a place or a place to visit them, I think that's important to the makeup of a community so that you can recognize, oh, this is where I came from, this is why I'm here. And just recognizing that. So I want to honor those people who came before.
Do you think that it's going to really cost very much money?
I don't think so. I've already locked into the cost, and there's state grants for the sign, so I don't think it's going to cost much at all for the sign itself. I think the biggest part is probably going to be shoring up from the creek, and I also don't think that's going to cost too much because I think it can also partner with the DNR because they also deal with cemetery maintenance. I think I can partner with them to shore up that.
Good. So that's still a project that's in the early stages.
Yes, very early. So I'm still looking into the costs.
Okay. As your mother, I have to say, your reason for caring about this, even though we have a big genealogy. We have a big genealogy wall.
Buried there,
right. But the fact that you're honoring people who were part of this community, who helped build this community, that were the unknowns and the forgottens, that you're choosing not to forget. And that makes me proud as mom. and I'm not a citizen of Brazil Township either. We live in Jackson Township, but I'm a big proponent in remembering your ancestors, even if they're just your community ancestors. So I think that's a worthwhile project. And, I love the Clay County genealogy library and those folks. So I'm glad that it's a partnership with them.
Yes.
All right. So Judah, let's do rapid fire questions. All right. All right. So when you're listening to something, do you listen to music, podcasts, or books? Podcast. What's your favorite podcast?
Probably Timcast. It's a middle of the road political.
Okay. So what's your favorite meal?
My favorite meal, probably the one we're about to make.
Okay.
I also really like grilled dinner is what I call it, but it's bell pepper. I'll have a whole bell pepper and a bagel with cream cheese, and that's my favorite grilled dinner, just easy.
What's the first hard thing you remember doing?
Ooh, probably when I was in Gen J and I was interviewing the candidates. I remember being very nervous, but after the first 2 or 3, it got very easy to interview those candidates.
So do you want to explain what Gen J is and how old you were and all that good stuff?
I was 11 when I started.
I think you were maybe 13-ish.
Okay, 13-ish. But Gen J is a young adult, 11 to 19-year-old political organization, and basically kids got involved in politics, and they went door to door, did phone banks, they had club meetings, and ours particularly, we would host debates between candidates.
Yeah, we did. Forgot about that. And so the year that you interviewed people, I think it was in 2010.
Yeah.
And you interviewed Dan Coates.
Yeah.
You interviewed Brad Ellsworth. You interviewed a Libertarian who was running for U.S. Senate.
Yeah.
I think you interviewed like 23 different candidates.
Yeah.
You interviewed Mike
There
Pence.
were a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I had a newsletter, and I put them all in a newsletter. And I think because of that, I got called to the State House to be a journalist. And we called them like, "Hey, I'm 14 years old. Why are you inviting me here?"
That's right. I forgot about that. You got in a room with Speaker Brian Bosma as a journalist. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then and you interviewed, who was that guy that was on Fox News? Dick Morse.
Yes.
Dick Morse. You got to interview him.
Kissed me on the cheek, and I didn't wash my own cheek for weeks.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so tell me what it is that we're making today.
We're making my sweet potato soup.
Okay, so let's go to the kitchen. Let's get it going.
All right.
Okay, Judah. So we are making a soup that you created, and tell me about how you came up with this soup.
So I was thinking one day that I really like potato soup, but I also really like sweet potatoes. So I decided to make this soup as a complement to potato soup.
Okay, so you're starting with onion there, and how fine are you wanting that onion chopped?
So I tried to make everything about the size of my last part of my pinky, because I want to try to make sure everything gets on the spoon. So every chunk that's in the soup can fit on the soup, but in the spoon at the same time.
Oh, so that's like really thoughtful. I've never thought about that. See, okay, typically whenever I make soup, I'm like, okay, I just want to get this stuff chopped and get it done and get it cooking. So you're much more thoughtful about after for the person eating it. That's nice. Okay, so I just bought a 3-pound bag of sweet potatoes because I don't use a lot of sweet potatoes, and but I think your recipe called like 3 to 4 potatoes.
Yes, and that was considering for big sweet potatoes, because I usually get the big ones.
Right.
So these are smaller, so I would say more like 4 or 5.
Okay. How would you feel about 8?
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, cool. Because you kind of have picked up the way that I cook. It's kind of by the feels, right?
Right.
Because I noticed whenever you sent me the recipe for the seasonings and stuff, there was actually no measurements whatsoever.
No.
Okay.
I season until my ancestors say stop.
Yeah, if you do a cooking class, just FYI ever, then that will drive some people crazy, because some people are purists with their measurements. So, okay, sweet potatoes. Okay, see, I get to do different things with you than what I do with other people. Whenever you were a baby, you loved sweet potatoes so much, sweet potatoes and carrots and squash, that your little nose turned orange. So let's see if your nose turns orange after we finish this. And in your recipe, you had that you could either milk or coconut milk.
Yes. So I've experimented a lot with this recipe. I like to make it creamy, and I found that blending up the sweet potatoes once they're all cooked down, just part of them, I don't want to do all of them blended, makes it pretty creamy on its own. So it kind of just depends on my mood on whether or not I want to put any kind of dairy in it. So, but whenever I don't do dairy, then I like to do coconut water instead.
Okay, so if you could make this vegan, except for the fact that you got cream cheese. Do they even make?
You don't even need to have the cream cheese necessarily. That's just if I'm feeling dairy.
Okay, all right. So if you're feeling all dairy, then you do butter. You could do cream, and or milk.
Yes.
And you do the cream cheese. But if you're not feeling all dairy, then you just blend a little bit more of the potatoes and do coconut water.
Oh, yeah.
And then you start, because right now in this pan, we didn't talk about this, we have about a 1/4 cup of melted butter in there. So you would just use an oil like a canola or something. Okay, well, I've done my part, so. Okay, so Judah, you've got all of the peppers and the peppers. I mean, we don't have any peppers. No. Onions and sweet potatoes in here. Okay, Vivian's our camera gal. So Vivian, you want to get an up close to see what this looks like so far. You can just bring the whole tripod over probably. Okay, so can you see how that's kind of small? Okay, now what are we gonna do?
So we're going to put in a little bit of salt and pepper and some garlic, just to give that, infuse some of the flavor into the sweet potatoes and the onions as it cooks.
You make me proud using the word infused flavor. Okay, so, and around here, we go ahead and we do a salt pepper blend just to make things a little bit easier. Most recipes call for 2 parts salt to 1 part pepper. So we just have that made up and have it so it's just easier to do.
Stir that up so all the seasoning could get in.
Okay, and so, you're doing something unique with us.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit persnickety a little bit. So I like to put it in the oven in the pot that I'm going to be making the soup in, because I want the sweet potatoes that are at the bottom, I want them to get a little bit crusty. And whenever I take it out, I'll take the top layer, some of the top layers of sweet potatoes, and I will blend that, and that's the part I'll blend. And so whenever you eat it and have the little bites, you'll get the bits of the crusty.
Gotcha.
So that's the best part.
And we're getting ready to put this in a 400-degree oven. And if you have an oven that has a roast setting, that's what we're doing on this. So there we go. Okay, Judah, the potatoes have been roasting for, what, about 15-ish minutes?
15-ish minutes.
Okay, at 400, roast if you have it on your oven. If not, just do bake. And let's see what these...
It doesn't need to be completely cooked through either, because you are going to be boiling it as well. So it's going to have another cook. This just gives it better flavor, I believe.
All right, I'm going to go and shut this off, or, you know, me, I'll forget. Okay, so tell me what we need to do next.
Okay, so we need to blend up the cream cheese, and we're going to also put some of the sweet potatoes in the blender as well.
Okay, so we're going to do the cream cheese with some liquid, because this is a little trick that I do. So okay. So how much chicken broth would you need?
Normally, I just fill it up.
And this is what happens when you cook by the feels instead of a solid recipe.
Let's start off with a cup, and we'll go from there.
A cup? Okay. Sure you don't feel better about 2?
Sure.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to really cheat. I'm going to do the hot water from here, because I want really hot water. I don't want to wait forever for that to heat up. Because you're putting cream cheese in here, right?
Right.
And so cream cheese can get really chunky in a soup if you don't blend it well. And so I like to go ahead and put the cream cheese in the hot water, or whatever you have that's going to be hot that you're adding to your soup that's a liquid. And here we go. And that will help blend it and get it smooth. Now, Judah, I don't have like real chicken broth, so we're going to use this dry stuff.
That's what I use too.
Okay. And so how much of this would you say? I've got a 1/4 cup. So this would be an 1/8 of a cup here.
I think that would be fine.
Okay. I mean, it's just more flavor, right?
Right.
Okay. And let's blend this for a little bit first.
Right.
Okay. Now we're going to make some noise. Oh my goodness. Whee! That was fun. So now you're going to put in some of your potatoes and onions.
I like to put in maybe about
hold up a minute.
1/3 of the sweet potatoes.
Let me see if I can get the lid off. Oh. Thanks, kid. Okay, so you're putting about 1/3.
1/3 of the potatoes, yeah.
And then are you adding more water to this if it's going to boil a little bit? Or is this your boiling?
This will add in, and then I'll gauge from there how much liquid.
Okay. And so you do this just to help it to get a little thicker because you like more of a stew. Sorry if you're wearing that. It looks pretty in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn
We're
this
gonna
on then.
pour that in. Oh, that's a pretty color. Ooh, wow. I feel like we're just a comedy of errors here.
So I usually try to put enough liquid to cover all the potatoes.
Okay.
And then this is probably a good time to add in the chicken as well.
Okay, let me grab the chicken. So we had a roasted chicken, and so we just did half of a roasted chicken, but you said you typically do grilled chicken breast.
Right. So I'll usually cut it up first and then cook it, and I'll usually season it with the same seasonings that I do this. Okay, I think we do need a little bit more liquid. Let's do another 2 cups.
So far, the seasonings that we have in here are salt and pepper and the garlic, but you're adding some others.
Right, and actually you helped me with this soup because remember the first time I made it and I called you and it's like, I don't think I got the seasonings correct. And you suggested Italian seasoning. And I added that and that was perfect.
Oh, good, good. It's nice to be helpful as a mother to your adult children every once in a while.
And again, we're going by the feels.
Okay.
It looks like you got a little bit of chili flakes in there.
Oh, yeah, so you don't need the chili. Yeah, I got that at, the Max. TJ Maxx. Vivers, you want to get up close and see what this looks like? Our camera gal today is Vivian Etling. She's back from IU for spring break, and so we're going to utilize her as much as we can for videography.
And if you're not feeling the milk, the dairy in your soup, that's why I like the coconut milk, because I feel like it gives it the same consistency and creaminess.
Okay, but does it give it a tropical flair?
I don't think you taste the coconut at all. So I just think it's a texture thing for me.
Okay. So about how long do you let this do its thing?
Again, usually I don't let it cook through the sweet potatoes all the way. So I usually let it cook long enough for it to fully get soft.
So are you looking for like a slight boil or no?
A simmer is...
A simmer, okay. And I noticed that this recipe does not have any gluten in it, no flour.
Nope, no gluten.
Okay.
So it covers all the bases for all the dietary needs.
If you decide to be vegan and not do the dairy.
Right.
Okay. We're ready. And you were looking for those potatoes to be...
soft.
Okay. Because we only smashed up part of them.
Right.
Right. And we have 3 bowls here because we thought we would let Vivian try it, right?
Yes, she's doing a good job, so we want to give her a reward.
Okay, cool. All right. It looks so pretty. Here, Vivs, can you see how pretty that looks? And sweet potatoes are better for you than white potatoes anyway.
Right.
Okay. Vivian, thanks for coming and filming today.
Of course, I got some soup.
It was worth it. Is that in lieu of pay? Is that in lieu of pay? Or would you like paid for this? Vivian will get paid, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That is good. It's amazing how sweet it is considering you didn't add any sweetness to it. It's just a sweet potato. It's like God made it sweet.
Yeah.
Judah, thanks for coming and cooking with me. Thanks for being my daughter.
Thanks for
And
being
I
my mom.
love you.
I love you.
Thank you. Good luck
Love you too, Vivian.